What's up, y'all? Peace. So I'm hitting you with another video. I just want to comment on. I heard it on YouTube. I think that YouTube channel. I don't know what channel it was. They must have ripped off something from the Clubhouse. It sounds like one of the Clubhouse clips, but they didn't show the video. So in the clip from Clubhouse, you could hear like a couple of females that I'm not too familiar with, and a bunch of dudes, including Whack 100 and I believe Ti. You know what I'm saying? And I respect Ti, you know, kinda. But you know, I'm an artist myself, so freedom of speech, you know what I'm saying? But so they was talking about the whole R.Kelly thing, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I kind of backed off from that, from doing a video from that, because everybody's talking about that, but it bothered me, so I want to respond. And the reason what bothered me was most of the dudes that was in the Clubhouse, especially Whack 100 and Ti, were defending R.Kelly. They was trying to say, well, you know, how old was she? If she was 17, then fuck it, you know what I'm saying? And you should understand some of these teenage girls, and you know, they look older and they act older, like basically saying that it wasn't bigger than what it was. The females, there was one female that was also kind of defending R.Kelly. I mean, you either are against R.Kelly or you're defending him. These dudes was defending him, and the one female was defending him. And one of the females was saying, you know, well, it doesn't matter if you're under 21, you're still a teenager, 19, 18, 17, you shouldn't be. Okay, maybe 19, but she said, you know, 17, you're still a teenager, which is true. 19, you're a little older. You make this 18, 19. But 17, 16, 15, I mean, how low you want to go? And it seems to me like they were getting offended every time the people who were telling the truth about R.Kelly, the females especially, were trying to set it straight. Like, yo, this dude was using a lot of young girls, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were trying to flip it. Whack 100 and Ti were trying to flip it, you know, trying to say that it was them and it wasn't R.Kelly. Like, R.Kelly's a grown man. He can get any woman he wants. He doesn't need girls, you know what I'm saying? And in the conversation, it was a bunch of dudes that really didn't know about all the women that R.Kelly, or the girls that R.Kelly was messing with. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're from Chicago. It's not like they're from the South Side. You talk to anybody from the Chicago, especially the South Side, they'll tell you R.Kelly fucked a lot of young girls' futures up. Because it wasn't like R.Kelly was just grabbing, you know, wannabe hoes or teenage girls out in the projects or whatever. Not to say that they're all like that, but he was purposely going after the smart teenage girls. You know what I'm saying? The smart ones, the ones that had a future, the ones that if they didn't get fucked up by R.Kelly and his boys, and you know what I'm saying, like they will have a future, and their future was messed up. And what nobody talked about in the Clubhouse was the stories out of Chicago, because I've heard people from Chicago tell the stories, you know what I'm saying? And one of the stories was that, you know what I'm saying, he would, you know what I'm saying, look for girls, and he especially girls that he kind of already knew that was close to the family or close to the neighborhood, invite them somewhere, eventually get them drunk, get them high somehow. You know what I'm saying? Because an attentive girl is a naive girl sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And eventually these smart girls who have straight A's will just get coked up. All of a sudden, from the stories I've heard, you know what I'm saying? Like years later, they became junkies, you know what I'm saying? So that's a fucked up thing to do. That's fucked up, you know what I'm saying? And I don't care how grown these girls think they are. Like, if you're in a situation, right? Once the girl is in that situation, the smart, intelligent girl is on that situation, she has no place to go. And so once this girl is coked up, once they got on where he wants them, as the story goes, he will like have his homeboys jump in, something, they will take turns having sex with her, you know what I'm saying? Gangbang her or some shit. Run trains on her, like. And I hate to use that language, but you know what I'm saying, that's the language they use. And that's what happened to these girls, you know what I'm saying? It was other grown men that was doing this shit in Chicago with R. Kelly. So I think once R. Kelly, finally goes to jail, I mean, eventually the names of other people are gonna come up, especially the bodyguards, because at that time R. Kelly was still with the group Public Announcement. So how do we know his bodyguards weren't having sex with these young girls? You know what I'm saying? Like, or know about it. Names gotta come out. I believe names will come out eventually of other dudes that, you know what I'm saying, we're doing these young girls with R. Kelly. And it's a messed up thing to do, and there's no excuse for it. And you know what I'm saying? And the way T.I. and Wack 100 were trying to defend R. Kelly, trying to make it seem less, you know what I'm saying? And trying to flip it around and say, well, it was a young boy, it would be different if it was an older woman. I don't think it would be any different. And over here in New York, we got the Africa Bambaataa situation, where he was doing young boys for years, you know what I'm saying? And the media didn't even want to touch it because, for whatever reason, maybe because these were boys, you know what I'm saying? Like, so when you're 14, you can easily be coerced if you have no father figure. Some of these small girls maybe didn't have a father figure, you know what I'm saying? Well, in the case of Aaliyah, Aaliyah was naive, you know what I'm saying? She was a little naive. I don't think he got her drugged up or high or anything, but, but she probably got coerced, probably convinced them for whatever reason. And, rest in peace to Aaliyah, because, she's the same age as me. And she would be my age if she was still alive, you know what I'm saying? And Aaliyah was definitely talented. Not to say that R. Kelly wasn't talented, but, he's a pedophile, you know what I'm saying? Messing around with 14-year-old girls, you know what I'm saying? 13-year-old girls. Some of these girls I heard were 12, you know what I'm saying? Out there in Chicago. And but shit, like, if like, the violence that goes on in places like New York City and the South Side of Chicago, the Bronx side of New York City, like, those are areas that, you gotta watch your back, and these are the areas where, pedophiles are running around having sex with kids. Then you wonder why these kids grew up fucked up, or turned out, or lost. You know what I'm saying? Because fucking a lot of them are getting molested. And when you see the aftermath of somebody being molested, it's like somebody defending drug dealing, but then I'm seeing the aftermath of drug dealing. I've seen the junkies everywhere out here everywhere in Jersey City, Manhattan, my hometown, Brooklyn. Like, I mean, it devastated communities, you know what I'm saying? But the drug dealer is just thinking about getting money. He's not really thinking, because half the time he's selling weed. Weed is not as strong. It's different. Hard drugs, But nobody's looking at the aftermath of the fact that an adult can coerce a young girl. These are not girls that were trying to grow up fast. These are girls that were trying to stay 14-year-old, that were trying to get good grades, were studying hard. Like, these weren't girls that were from the projects, basically. You know what I'm saying? So, so for them to try to flip it around and blame the females, like dogs, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. We all from the, well, I don't know, Wack 100 is to me, he just makes money off of hip-hop, you know what I'm saying? He's not really a hip-hop dude, but he's from the hood, But as hip hop artist myself, independent, definitely not as big as T.I. Like, I don't understand where T.I. was coming from or where Wack 100 was coming from with that. But I mean, where would you guys coming from with that? Like, what was the point? Like, trying to blame the females? Like, there's no way around it. R. Kelly is fucked up. He's mentally fucked up. Dude got issues, you know what I'm saying? Like, turning young girls out at 12, 13, 14-year-old, getting them drunk, high, coked up, and then basically turning them into, like, fucking prostitutes. And then eventually they become junkies. Like, well, who would do that to young girls, you know what I'm saying, and fuck up their future like that? Grown-ass man. Well, you can find any woman you want your own age, man. I mean, I live in New York, I'm from New York City, but even a city not as big as New York, like Jersey or Chicago. Come on, like, come on. There's no. The only reason why I believe T.I. and Wack 100 were defending R. Kelly is probably because they know they probably have homies that have sex with young girls. You know what I'm saying? They fucked up if they did that. I don't hang out with nobody that messes around with young girls like that. Oh, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have your limits in life, man. When you carry yourself a certain way and you have a certain limit of how you live your life, people are gonna respect you. If you don't, people are not gonna respect you. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why. I mean, this is why, a lot of dudes don't like Wack 100 T.I. A lot of people don't. It's because of shit like this, man. You keep opening your mouth and saying, and you have the freedom of speech to say it, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't make sense for you to defend what R. Kelly did. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make no sense. If you know all the stories, all you gotta do is talk to somebody in Chicago, and they'll tell you what R. Kelly did. Because especially someone older, and in the early 50s, they probably know R. Kelly. Everyone in the South, in the same area in any city, will know each other. So I'm pretty sure you will find lots of dudes that know R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? And they'll probably tell you those stories. You know what I'm saying? I've heard the stories from dudes from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? On YouTube. And they tell the story. You know what I'm saying? And I believe it because these are stories that are real. All you gotta do is talk to somebody from Southside Chicago that's in their late 40s or early 50s, and they'll tell you what R. Kelly was doing. But nobody wants to seek the truth because I guess they're defending their homeboys who also had sex with young girls. And you know what I'm saying? If that's the case, then we got a long way to go in the society. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not really surprised because, I mean, how many women in general at any age get raped in this country? It's a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot. Back in '89, when that jogger was raped, right? What happened to her was fucked up. Of course, we know now it was one dude that did it. You know what I'm saying? Not those 5 kids that got put in jail. But in that same week, when the media was focusing on the jogger and what happened, which was fucked up, there were supposedly, from what I heard, close to 100 African American and Puerto Rican women that were raped in New York City that week, and the news barely touched it. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot more common. You know what I'm saying? So, if you really think about it, rape is rape. So if you're trying to coerce a 14-year-old girl to have sex with you, either with or without drugs, you're a fucked up individual. R. Kelly is fucked up. He got issues, you know what I'm saying? Maybe his mom's died and he lost. I don't know what it was, you know what I'm saying? Maybe R. Kelly himself was molested when he was young. You don't know, you know what I'm saying? So, I think it's just kind of crazy that you know what I'm saying? Like, and T.I. was getting offended. Like, he was really getting offended when the females were trying to explain what R. Kelly did was wrong. I mean, and I said this once in one of my other videos, I don't look up to older male figures, you know what I'm saying? Because I never had one. When I was growing up, my mom was married my stepfather and he was an asshole. So I never trusted him. I never trusted anybody, any authority figure. And I had teachers that were real bad to me too. So when you have those experiences, which is traumatic, everything, those are traumatic experiences. That's the reason why I got anxiety and shit. But that also made me a better person, because it made me more aware, of the fact that just because someone is a male and is older than you doesn't mean you trust them. You know what I'm saying? So I think I had a strong mind. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was a skinny kid, but I had a strong mind growing up, and I knew never to trust anybody just because. But you know what I'm saying? Not to trust somebody just because they're a police officer or a teacher or your stepfather. You know what I'm saying? I learned that, the personal experience. So I feel like they're just defending R.Kelly because he's R.Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a good enough reason. We gotta expose dudes for who they are. It's like we gotta expose politicians for who they are. It's just like we gotta expose, Anthony Fauci for who he is. Not to change the subject. But never, never, ever trust anybody just because they have power and they're older than you. If anything, if they have that much power and they're trying to control people, then that means they're basically almost like a cult. You know what I'm saying? R. Kelly was like a cult leader. You know what I'm saying? He had all these women, and when he met them, they were young, but he kept them for a long time in his house. You know what I'm saying? He took their cell phones. That's basically, taming them and telling them what to do all the time. That's cult. That's cultism. You know what I'm saying? So I don't look up to nobody. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what the music that R. Kelly did, I don't look up to that dude. I don't look up to nobody. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look up to yourself. You gotta know what's right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. You gotta have a strong mind. So that's where I stand on that. And yo, for real, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this is crazy. And I didn't listen to the whole clip, but I heard enough that I don't gotta go back to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what they said is what they said. And, they got family members that probably disagree with them. They're going to have to answer their family members, you know what I'm saying? I look at the truth for what it is. So that's how I feel about that, And it's just crazy, I mean, so that's what I got to say about that. You know what I'm saying? Gotta grow up. We all gotta grow up and not believe somebody just because they're a singer, a rapper, a DJ, politician, you know what I'm saying? Like, medical expert, head of the CDC, none of that shit. If we're gonna question certain people, we gotta question anybody. Anybody that has too much power like that is not a good person. So that's what I gotta say. Peace.